Sunak is set to take over UK's reins in the midst of an economic and political turmoil.
Remember, Rishi Sunak is a self-professed devout Hindu and even took oath on the Bhagavad Gita in the UK Parliament, the first ever MP to do so. In fact, every year he celebrates Diwali and often is seen praying at mandirs with his family members.
While it is a matter of pride for India to have an Indian origin man at the helm of United Kingdom, the ecosystem seizes the opportunity to preach about inclusivity. In a Twitter tirade from PDP to Congress, the opposition has been taking shots at the BJP, while the PDP chief claims that India is shackled by divisive laws like NRC and CAA. The likes of Shashi Tharoor and Jairam have been asking if India can learn from the United Kingdom and shun majoritarianism.
Rishi Sunak becoming the Prime Minister of England has sent in a wave of jubilation in India. Well, I think there is no need to be so much of expectancy about his becoming Prime Minister. How is it going to benefit India? It all depends upon how does he run his government. We will have to observe for the next 6 months. Only because the origin is Indian, or he is a non-British, or he is a young man, maybe probably he would lean on the side to support India in all expenses, will be, I think, little too much, and we need to wait to have a observation about his functioning.
All right, more reactions now coming in after the Congress leaders said that India has lessons to learn from the United Kingdom. Shashi Tharoor and Chidambaram. Now we have Jairam Ramesh, who has hit out at the BJP, saying that it should learn something from United Kingdom's diversity. Also saying that things have changed in the last 8 years. Listen in.
जिनको जनादेश मिलता है वो मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे। उनकी पार्टी ने उनको मुख्यमंत्री बनाया है इंग्लैंड का, हम स्वागत करते हैं। माने हमें ये नौबत आ गई है कि हिंदुस्तान भारत को इंग्लैंड से अनेकताओं को कैसे सम्मान देना, हमें उनसे सबक लेना पड़ता है। मिसाल, हमारे हजारों साल से अगर हमारे दुनिया में एक मिसाल था अनेकताओं का जश्न मनाने का, अनेकताओं को सम्मान देने का, वो हिंदुस्तान था। पर पिछले 8 सालों में जो हम देखे हैं, और हमें किसी और देश से सबक सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है। हमारी एकता अनेकताओं से ही मजबूत होगी।
Let me quickly go across to Samya and Pradeep joining us on this broadcast. Samya, to you first. Several questions being raised by some from the Congress, also Mehbooba Mufti, but several Congress leaders saying that there is a lesson in this for India to learn. And let's quickly give a factual rebuttal to that and talk about our leadership board. Why is it that the Congress leaders are time and again reiterating and parroting the same line that India has not witnessed this kind of inclusion?
Well, firstly, Mr. Jairam Ramesh, who is the Communication Department Chief of the party, decided not to clarify on the tweets made by former Finance Minister Mr. P. Chidambaram, or for that matter Shashi Tharoor. He only went on to say that Congress is a democratic party and they have had several of the leaders hailing from minority communities in the past as the president or the head of the state. But he also reiterated that in the last 8 years, India stands at a point where it's now have to learn about unity in diversity from UK, which is a sad narrative, a sorry narrative for India per se. India prides itself in its inclusive and diverse politics, as it was during the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee when Abdul Kalam was the president. But in the last 8 years, he reiterates that things are not the same. The kind of politics that Prime Minister Narendra Modi practices is very different from what his predecessor in Vajpayee practiced. And this is definitely a matter of great pride, and he welcomes Rishi Sunak as the Prime Minister of UK. But he also went on to say that is definitely a bell that rings for India, in a sense, to learn about diversity and inclusiveness, as UK has shown the path ahead. But really, they have taken a departure from accepting and factoring in several of the head of the states for India who did hail from minority community. Dr. Manmohan Singh himself being the Prime Minister for 10 years, hailing from a party that was headed by Sonia Gandhi.
Right.
So clearly the Congress party over here has got itself in a quandary, and it's going to really drop.
So the Congress party has a lot to answer, and the BJP as well. Samya was very quick to fact check the lobby and contended that with India's secular fabric, we don't really need lessons of inclusivity from the United Kingdom. It's a point-by-point rebuttal by the BJP. Let's play out some reactions.
First of all, it is a great day. Yes. Let us rejoice. Let us feel proud over the elevation of a very competent, able leader of Indian origin, Rishi Sunak, to become the Prime Minister of England. And I don't wish to join any political debate today. India is happy, ordinary Indians are happy, globally and also in India. Let us see it in that way. People will continue to react, let them react. What should I say? Except to tell them very gently that India has always appreciated its diversity, and see the record of the contribution of the great leaders. APJ Kalam became the president when Mr. Bajpayee was the Prime Minister. Ramnath Kovind ji, a distinguished leader of Dalit community, became the president. Narendra Modi was the Prime Minister. The BJP took the initiative. So it for Draupadi Murmu ji, a very distinguished leader of the tribal community, and many others.
That a person of Indian roots has become the Prime Minister of UK, a country which once ruled India for several years. Instead of celebrating that, the Congress party is back to doing what it does best, that is undermine India's image and play the fake Islamophobia narrative wherever possible. Dr. Tharoor, Mr. Chidambaram have questioned whether India respects diversity and would allow a person from the minority community to ascend to the highest positions of power and constitutional positions in this country. But having said that, even the topmost constitutional position of the President of India was held by APJ Abdul Kalam, Fakhruddin Ahmad, Gyani Zail Singh and others, all belonging to the minority community. Because what should matter is not whether you are from a particular ethnic group or minority group, but whether you have the merit to hold these positions or not. And that is why Rishi Sunak has also made it where he has made it.
लोगों की आदत है कि समावेशी भारत की जो हमारे समावेशी संस्कृति है उस पे सन की विकृति को कैसे हावी करो और कैसे रंग में भंग डालो। यहाँ पर कोई काबिलियत की कदर हुई है हमेशा, और इसलिए जो लोग कास्ट कम्युनिटी और उसमें कम्युनलिज्म का तड़का लगाते हैं वो उनकी ये आदत हो गई है। ऐसे लोग इनकी तर्कों की इनके पास कंगाली हमेशा रही है। ये तर्कों के साथ बात नहीं करते, कुतर्कों के साथ बात करते हैं।
Let me quickly go across to Pradeep, because reactions coming in from several politicians, mainstream politicians in Jammu and Kashmir as well. Mehbooba Mufti, interestingly, also raising questions with regards to this very important development taking place in the United Kingdom, Pradeep. But unfortunately, the likes of Mehbooba Mufti in the past have clearly discriminated with regards to the Hindu community, the minority community in Kashmir, and so they have no right to come out with this kind of argument.
Yes, you're absolutely right. First thing is that it's a matter of pride. Why it's a matter of pride? Just only 76 years back, India was able to break shackles of slavery. And today we are seeing the Indian man of Indian origin. He'll be all set to become the Prime Minister of Britain. And the second thing you rightly said, Mehbooba Mufti Sarkar, everybody knew that it was called Mamaji, Mosaji and Bhaiyaji Sarkar. And that time and while she was Chief Minister, she wanted to be surrounded by the family members. She gave the cabinet and other portfolios to her family members only. Why at that point of time she did not think about the Kashmiri Pandit? Why she did not think about the Kashmiri Sikh? She did not think about the minority community members at that point of time. And today she is beating chest for them because she is trying to play dirty politics and trying to only malign image of the country. While as this was the time she should have celebrated. See how the Indian image and Indian influence is increasing over the period of time. And the second thing is why they did not give those rights to West Pakistan refugees, because they were Hindus. Why the Dalits were maltreated? Because they were Hindus. Why the Gorkha Samaj was not given their due rights? Because they were Hindus. So now today Mehbooba Mufti, and the same Mehbooba Mufti, she brought down the government, the coalition government at that point of time in 2008. She was not ready to give a piece of land for fabricated structure for Amarnath pilgrims. And that time she resorted to fear-mongering, saying that it will lead to demographic change. And also, when after abrogation of Article 370, the government says that non-locals can also vote because they know.
Absolutely, but the politics over it is continuing. In fact, in the latest, another reaction coming in from Shashi Tharoor. He has taken to Twitter, tweeting, "Lagan se lagam tak sirf 75 saal mein, Jai Hind." That's the tweet that he has put out. He has also tweeted a picture, interestingly, of Amir Khan in Lagan and now Rishi Sunak. So this is the latest tweet that has come in from Shashi Tharoor, and this is after, remember earlier, his reaction where he said that India has lessons to learn from what has happened in the United Kingdom.
Those are the reactions essentially that are coming in from several Congress leaders. Talk about Shashi Tharoor, talk about Chidambaram, Jairam Ramesh as well. Samya also continues to stay on with us. Samya, this is the latest jibe that Shashi Tharoor is taking. Interestingly, he's drawn the comparison with Amir Khan and Rishi Sunak. He's tweeted that picture and he says, "Lagan se lagam tak sirf 75 saal mein, Jai Hind." So that's his tweet and the latest jibe he's taking at the BJP.
Well, yes, but the Congress party, has let Mr. Shashi Tharoor and Mr. P. Chidambaram decide for themselves when it comes to their tweets and what they want to send across as the underlying messaging in it. The Congress party says that it doesn't really necessarily endorse that statement, but they definitely say that India has a lot to learn, especially in the last 8 years. The emphasis lies in the last 8 years, which denotes Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government, where the Congress party wants to suggest that all is not well when it comes to inclusiveness and diversity given a pedestal in this particular government. This particular BJP government is not like the earlier government of the predecessor of former Prime Minister Vajpayee. And this is what Mr. Jairam Ramesh had also emphasized over here, that it's actually ironic. India, which knew about a diverse fabric, that it would pride itself in unity and diversity. Today, if uniformity has to be brought about, then that is going to dilute the very essence or the principle that India prides itself in. And this is for the of the day to really rethink, to sit back and rethink and take a lesson or two from the UK right now. The political diaspora that the UK is now going to witness could also be an inclusive diaspora that India should, in a sense, look towards. This is a messaging that Jairam Ramesh has sent across, being the communication chief of the Congress party. He doesn't necessarily endorse the statement made by Mr. P. Chidambaram and Shashi Tharoor, but he agrees with them in spirit. We have to wait and see whether at all Jairam Ramesh's statement is going to draw political reactions from the BJP or not, because the BJP has made it very clear that, let's not forget, the former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh also hailed from a minority community of the Sikhs, and that is why India is a land of diversity which Indians should be proud of.
Okay, all right. Samya and Pradeep, thank you for joining us with those details. Of course, this is not the end of the controversy. More political reactions also expected. We keep a track of that. But for